This is my IJ 1.3. This is about a session when I took a young girl into the woods for a forest schools come one-to-one session. She, I've been working with her for a little while, this young woman, and her school attendance was really patchy, which had really impacted on her all the way through primary school and up through secondary school. It was really patchy, just due to whatever was going on at home. There was lots of domestic violence. Mum was involved in drugs and alcohol. She was also a bit of a school refuser in some ways. She was often feeling poorly or had got a stomach bug. Generally an excuse. She had to also look after some of her younger siblings as well. So there was a real circumstantial thing about how about the dynamics at home, and this really had impacted on her ability to function in a classroom. Really, she was quite an articulate young woman in terms of being able to talk it through, and had a real understanding of things. But actually, when it came down to doing written work or reading in school, she really struggled. In some ways, she was slightly better at her literacy than she was at her numeracy. But I was doing some one-to-one work with her just because she needed someone to talk to and just to be there, really, just to do a few sort of more positive activities with her. But I thought that this was a really good session. When we finished it, it was quite spontaneous in that I'd planned to do a session that was outside in the woods, and we were going to do some den building and some tools and things. But actually, when we got there and we got walking through, we were talking about different sorts of maths, and we were talking about school. So the conversation was really flowing. And she was saying that she found her times table was really difficult. So we'd done some counting. Sort of we talked about the rings in a tree and how the rings in the tree represented age. But the other thing that we did was, and I thought it was I thought it was really good for her to be able to understand her times tables. We were using leaves, so I think it was the 8 times tables. And there's a photograph in my evidence which will show the rows of leaves, and we were looking at that and we were lining the leaves up and counting them, so she could see how it worked, because she struggled with the concept of like sort of 4 times 8 or 3 times 8, but to see it there, it really helped her. So it really helped to use the leaves, and I just thought it was really good because it was just a spontaneous thing. We'd got to a wall and we were talking about, and I was like, right, come on, let's do this. Let's get the leaves. Let's count them. We've counted steps. We've done that, but why don't we have a go at this? And she really enjoyed it and she really liked it. And I think for me, part of why I do the work that I do and work with young people that I do is that I like to be creative to make things fun and interesting. And she really liked that. And she liked the time that I was spent doing that, but she liked the fun element of learning. We were out in the woods, we were taking risks, we were doing fun things, but actually we were doing maths, and that's a really, really difficult concept for a 15-year-old girl to sort of grasp. So she really liked that and sort of took that idea away of using. And she was saying, oh, well, I can do this with my little brother to help him with his times tables and with his maths. We can use crisps or we can use sweets. And actually, as she grows older, she might want to do that with her own children. And for me, she can integrate maths and numeracy and maths like we're expected to integrate numeracy and maths into our lessons, then numeracy and literacy, then I think that if she can take that skill away, I think that's a really important life skill for her to have, to be able to just turn things like that, to count the rings of a tree, to be able to guess how tall a tree is, or to be able to count the steps or use leaves or sweets or crisps but for to do to use that to do numeracy. So for me, that's what that session was about.